India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They are working, starting families, growing up children and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program Connecting Cultures, they share their stories that had occurred before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. In our age of pragmatism, everyone is always in a hurry, giving all the time only to a job and forgetting oneself. Nevertheless, the guest of our today's program, Radovan Simonovic, does not just do his job admirably, managing a large team, but also devotes his spare time to a variety of fascinating activities. Due to love of travel and his job, Radovan has visited lots of countries and enjoyed their beauty and cultural heritage. And the place where our hero was born is Montenegro, that was part of Yugoslavia, and in 2006 became an independent government. His native town is Nikšić, which is located in a valley of the same name, at the foot of Trebisa mountain. Nowadays, Nikšić is one of the biggest industrial centers of Montenegro. Please, tell about the family you grew up in. My father worked in the construction field and my mother was a housewife. In general, it was a common socialist family. Because Yugoslavia was a socialist country, my family was similar to any other one living in the Soviet Union. My family is quite big. I have a young brother and two elder sisters. Certainly, I had grandparents as well. We had and still have our own house. I may say that peace and friendship prevailed in our family. Thus, my childhood was exciting and noble, so to speak. I spent a lot of time in a village at my grandparents'. My grandpa had his own farm, where there were some horses and many other domestic animals. So for me as a child, it was very interesting to be there. And for this very reason, I took much interest in everything surrounded me. And I've definitely got some of the best memories of this period of my life. How can you characterize yourself in the years of your childhood? I was a very pleasant child, always affable and kind-hearted. And other people often spoke well of me. You gave a lot of trouble to your sister, didn't you? Their sisters are much older than me. Just my brother is younger than me, so I think mostly he was picked on. Did you enjoy spending time together with your brother and sisters, or had you disparate interests? My brother and I had a common interest in playing football. And I myself had loved nature since my early childhood. I always felt some connection with it, and it has played an important role in my life. Even to this day, I strive to get out in the bush as much as possible. Therefore, my interests were quite distinct from theirs. I always liked to spend time with those who were older than me, and I loved to communicate with my grandpa. My grandfather was a war veteran, a person who could tell about many interesting things and teach something. I miss him dreadfully. He was a strict but fair person, who felt life deeply. Thus, he was a good company for me. When I was 19 years old, I began to work abroad. Therefore, I had to lead a nomad's life. I suppose that is precisely why I felt connection with Kazakhstan later, as the culture of the local people coincides with my inner world, in other words, state of nomad's mind. One of Radovan's hobbies in Kazakhstan has become drawing. Over a long period of time, the hero of our program has been going to an art school where he meets new interesting people and also can express himself and his inner world through painting. The hero of our program has been working in the sphere of restaurant business. In 2006, Radovan got an offer to go to Kazakhstan as a seafood restaurant chain development manager and set up the first fish restaurant in Almaty. Being an open-hearted person, always ready for impressions, our hero gave his consent to it without hesitation. At the present time, Radovan is a managing director in one of the Almaty restaurants, and 91 people are working under his guidance. How have you come to your professional activity? Has it been your dream from little up? I cannot say that it had been a dream since my childhood, but I came to my profession quite early. I began to carry on restaurant business at 21. First, I completed training in a specialized school in Belgrade. Then, I started to work in the international chain of seafood restaurants. From the beginning, I worked in Kiev, later in Moscow, St. Petersburg, and as a result, I came to Almaty. The main reasons for my interest in this profession are, of course, social intercourse and a constant development process. In a restaurant business, there is no concept of completeness. There is always something that could be improved. Thanks to my professional activity, I have got acquainted with lots of people, and this is a great value for me, as through communication we're able to learn about the world around us. What are the most interesting and difficult things in your work? I appreciate highly my profession because it always offers a person something new. We are constantly oriented to our guests. We aim at making each one happy and that they would return to us with pleasure. It's a challenging task, and it should be a labor of love. We try to do everything in order that our guests could feel comfortable and cozy. Every day we aim for doing our job on top level. The most interesting thing in my work is certainly to comfort people in order to see a pleased smile upon their faces. It's the salt of my profession. What is the most difficult thing? It's the same, to make all guests happy. It is the most difficult thing and the most pleasant one at the same time. Have you reached everything you wished concerning your professional activity, or is there still a room for improvement? Of course not. There is always something that can be and should be improved. In my opinion, it's not so easy for a person to attain some heights. Besides, even if people have achieved their goals, they still will think that it is not the limit, that there is a room for improvement. Thus, I cannot say that I have achieved all I could, and there is still a lot of work to do. In addition, the most important events of my professional life are yet to come. Can you call yourself an absolutely happy man? Absolutely happy? It's quite a difficult question. Am I a happy man? Yes. Joyful? Yes. But I think that for each person there is always something to strive for. Therefore, I can call myself a happy man, but I guess not an absolutely happy one. I consider myself a happy man because my family is doing well, and I haven't got any problems of life. So on that score, I account myself quite happy and joyful. When did you discover Kazakhstan first time? First time I came to Kazakhstan in 2006. I was welcomed by local partners of our business, whom I had acquainted with yet in Moscow. I liked everything in this country that time, and hospitality was at a high level. And for the last 2 years on end, I have been living in Almaty. I like the city very much. Everything suits me fine. I like the climate here and the local people. They are kind to me and I enjoy communication with them. Also, it's great that people from different ethnic backgrounds live here. As they have their own history and culture, you can always get knowledge and experience from them. Almost the whole world can be found in Kazakhstan, because more than 130 nationalities comprise the country. And it's great. This is true wealth of your land. What is Kazakhstan for you? Home, a place of employment, or a holiday spot? I cannot answer this question in no uncertain terms. If I say that this is just a place of employment for me, then it will be wrong, because if a person is an expert in his or her field, he or she will be able to find a job in any town, in any country. And if I say that this country is a resting place for me, again, it will not be the truth. Kazakhstan means much more to me. I have been always longed to go to this country. I feel very well here, like this is my homeland. Even if I come from another place, still I do not feel myself a foreigner here. In addition, the local people do not consider me as a stranger, but perceive me as one of them. Radovan is a man aspiring to know not just outward things, but also himself, to adduce abilities for a wide variety of activities. Thus, one of his passionate interests is playing the Mafia game. Every weekend, our hero tries to find time for playing football with his friends as well. Radovan's love for nature that arose in his childhood years only increased with age, and is expressed by doing sports and spending time in the open air.
Я предпочитаю, так скажем, активный вид отдыха.
I prefer to do different kinds of recreational activity in my leisure time. I like to get out in the bush, and due to my life in Almaty that is surrounded by mountains, I often get the opportunity to do rock climbing.
По крайней мере, собраться с друзьями, прогуляться, занять какую-нибудь высоту, вот, посмотреть на прекрасный город.
However, if there is not so much time, I can just walk in the highlands with my friends, or reach the top of a mountain to admire a landscape, take some fresh air and be closer to nature. I recommend all people to get out in the bush as much as possible instead of doing just daily chores. You should find time for yourself, and nature will reward you.
Тоже, так скажем, не забываем про здоровый образ жизни.
Radovan's love for such different types of activity may be due to his going to several specialized sports clubs and also attending drawing and history classes as far back as in his childhood. But the most important thing is that our hero always was interested in getting to know something new and being able to show what he is made of. There are so many interesting things in the world that each person should find time to learn about them as much as possible in order to become a man of varied attainments. The hero of our program, Radovan Simonovic, does not lose his time, but devotes it to his spiritual development.